the General Secretary has advised me. I hope that on the managerial sides there will be proper exercises uh, so that we improve further. I will only briefly say a few things that perhaps might matter. And I spoke some of those things yesterday as well. I mean, because I had the privilege of being part of the history, archaeology, culture subcommittee, and also I attended many of the preliminary lectures. And one of the things that I want to say here is that interdisciplinarity is nothing new for India. Uh, in fact, there is a need now, and I was making this very serious observation. Interdisciplinarity is nothing new for India. Indian social science in itself is an outstanding example of this. Uh, and even in my own discipline, I mean, I know Ashish Nandi, huh? Didi Kosambi, all these people from science and clinical psychology, Shahid Amin from economics, so many people, I mean, they have always traveled from one discipline to another discipline. They, they did rely upon so many disciplinary knowledge traditions to write their books. We all have been doing it. I mean, teach history, but I work on issues of education, identity. This is nothing new for us. I think there is a strong need today to distinguish our long cherished tradition of interdisciplinarity from today's, for the want of a better word, say, narrowed and vulgarized discourse on interdisciplinarity. This today's discourse of interdisciplinarity in the global discourse on education, including our policy frameworks, um, is actually reducing the disciplines in the name of interdisciplinarity. I think interdisciplinarity means enriching disciplines. Current discourse on interdisciplinarity, and I'm very precise when I'm saying it because you can see the way all these new credit systems are being evolved. Yeah, how many credits go where? I mean, how this 4-year degree program, 3-year degree program, master's program are in higher education, how these are being reorganized. So what is happening is that we are studying less our own subject. Okay, and whatever we are studying, it is being taught to us, or we are teaching it in the name of skills, more and more, increasingly. And the space for theoretical is rapidly declining. So I think, our long tradition of 45 Indian social science congresses provides us a unique opportunity to reflect upon this whole idea of interdisciplinarity, which is coming from the US and other sponsored discourses into our policy framework, and the one that we have cherished all along these years. That is one thing, and I have become more affirmed, more clear about it after our 45th Indian Social Science Congress. Second thing that makes a lot of sense is that when we saw the pandemic and the way it was handled by our state agencies, they did not they did not involve those experts in what is called social sciences, say labor studies, migration studies, pandemic studies, those who know the history of pandemics. In any way, these people were not involved. That is why when this situation was to be handled, the executive kept passing on orders one after the other without realizing the possible fallouts, possible outcomes of it. And that is why I think, and they thought that the science will take care of it, because they are talking about vaccine, they are talking about a disease or a pandemic. They did not themselves. I mean, the government that talks about interdisciplinarity when it comes to education, in its own management of this situation, did not follow what it propagates for others. And our papers in history panel, they really helped us understand how what has been the history of pandemics. how, what kind of crises have been there and how states and society dealt with those, what have been the trends of migration, um, how do we understand the reverse migration that is happening now. So I think uh, this trend where there is a certain kind of knowledge which is marketable, and then there is a certain other kind of knowledge which is considered as useless, increasingly useless, and that is why more and more universities are stopping to provide that knowledge. All these new universities mostly don't have even these departments of humanities and social sciences. So I think in the pandemic situation, and now in the wake of that, there is this conference, this congress. I think we have everybody should have become a little more alert about the complementarity of different branches of knowledge. No society can survive without maintaining this, without appreciating this complementarity. And there is no hierarchy as such. So that was very, very important for me. And the last 2 points I thought could be relevant. Uh, this Congress provided a interesting platform for uh, discussing issues of environment in very, very practical ways. I mean, we had presentations on building infrastructure, the architecture, how environment can, the issue can be tackled with that. I think that's something very, very important. Water conservation, very important issues, and these are issues that cut across our own disciplinary boundaries. To whatever discipline you belong, Hindi to political science to history to botany to whatever discipline that you belong to, these are relevant for all of us. And we have this, I think, Indian Social Science Congress or Indian Social Science Academy needs to clap for itself, for appreciating this interdisciplinarity for so long. 50 years, we are about to celebrate our golden jubilee. We have appreciated, we have cherished, we have practiced, we have promoted this interdisciplinarity, which is being hijacked to promote skills in the name of knowledge. They are using our own terminology, but they mean something else. So I think there is a need to really come out and explain what is the true meaning of interdisciplinarity and how is it different from our current policy perspective. I think that is a takeaway for me. Thanks a lot for giving me this opportunity. And I mean, despite all the havocs, I must say that I mean, we have been, we now when we feel little settled, we are going away. And I have seen, I mean, I must tell Dr. Chaube, Dr. Devakar, everybody, I saw people crying here. Initially, when they came, they cried because of because of the crisis of food and accommodations. But subsequently, I saw people crying for academic reasons. Really, I have seen that happening. So, I mean, it's a remarkable experience. Whatever may be the limitations, but I think it motivates us to come for the 46th Congress again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Uh, Thank you, Dr. Vikas. You have set the ball rolling for this interaction. May I now request anyone who can come forward and tell us something about academic parts of the Congress? Brigadier P. Ganesan Saab, few comments, just few comments. Since you are also living, so we don't want to miss you.
Thank you, Dr. Devakar, and thank you, Isa. Yeah, few years back when I joined ISA, I got attracted to it by its focus on society, and I never joined any group where everybody discusses about society. As I joined and lived with so many congresses, about half a dozen of them, I feel there's a beautiful platform where coming from various backgrounds and various specialities, can we focus ourselves on society? what we do, wherever we do, whatever we do, however we do, how does it affect society overall? Where you all know, and also mentioned in my presentation, that inequality is there everywhere, inequality. And science and development can bring down some inequality, if not everything, because rest all comes from the human attitude. How do we respect others? How do we respect others' approaches? Others, how do we respect others' traditions, their practices, their value system? And we have a tremendous amount of diversity. And that's possible only when platforms like this open mind, they discuss not what they know, but they have to learn from others, and thereby we all become a homogeneous people in thinking for sake of society. And I'm sure we are getting younger people, but still the average age is not so low. It should be 30, 35. If our delegates, our papers, and our guests can be brought down to 30s and 40s, the new thinking and thinking for their generation, them will also get into the deliberations. And it's always so pleasant to be here, meeting people, networking at a breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sometimes in the buses, and it's so wonderful. And this time I came late. I'm sorry I missed all the fun with so many people, but well, it was to be like that. Thank you very much, and you have a wonderful time and go back safe. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir. You have, by your presence and by your experience that you are doing at the rural areas, that is a learning message for us. May I request anyone else? आप सर कुछ बोलेंगे? Will you come? Tell something what you have perceived. You have come for the first time, perhaps. So,
Okay. Yes. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. So myself, Baharul Islam Lashkar from University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. So this is my third time I am attending this conference, and this time it was really a nice experience chairing one of the thematic panel, and we have presenters from different parts of the country, and of course some of the panels were merged together, and we had common presentations, and it was a nice experience for me. Thank you. And of course, we invite all of you to Meghalaya maybe in the coming years.
let's see. Yeah. Let me inform the host that the Meghalaya, this university has become the permanent institutional member of ISHA now. So this year only some indication of offer came that we should go there, but they are waiting for the 12B. I hope that very soon they will get it, and after that we will have chance to be together. Sir, आप कुछ कहें? आइए, please say something.
Thank you, Dr. Diwakar. I I come from a discipline of science. What I have felt, not only in this Congress, but some 1 2 previous congresses also, that we have uh, many disciplines, rather evening seminars, research committees for, we have many research committees for science disciplines, core science disciplines, but not getting much participation in that. Probably people in science disciplines are not much aware about this society. What I feel, that is one thing, and maybe our efforts are not that intensive. So I feel there is a lot of requirement of putting efforts to make the research committees and participations more meaningful or more purposeful in a very thematic way. We can decide certain themes for those subcommittees or other research committees also, sub themes under the theme of conference, congress, and we must identify a few speakers to lead the sessions. Each session should be led by few speakers, and then it should be followed by means the kind of say young scientist conclave and uh, thematic lectures and some discussions. These things can be planned for each discipline so it can be made more vibrant, and that will require more efforts and interactions. I have been external chairman of environmental research environment ecological and environmental science research committee and found this time and even once before that also there is very less interaction with internal chairpersons and conveners. So unless there will be a small team interacting regularly and plan very extensively for the congresses, the success of congresses will always be, I think that not always not be intensified. So we need some more input to make it more meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Come. Have a few words. Come. No? Are you going to say few words? Kinko? Ha, ha, ha. Just few words. Just few words.
Hello. What to tell? I am from 2007 onwards. I am with Isha, and we are experiencing very good things. For first day, it is everywhere. To adjust, it takes time. But once you are adjusted, meanwhile, it time comes that we have to leave. So we feel very bad. Okay, now we have come across all the friends. We have come across all our with dear students, and now it is the time to leave. So we were discussing instead of 5 days, it should be 3 days. But I think then again the discussion will be there. No, no. Instead of 3 days, it should be 5 days. Again, what I think when we are coming over here, no, at that time, suppose if we can plan in such a way, up to 3 o'clock or up to 4 o'clock, let the sessions go with full strength. But after that, spare us some time to visit the nearby places. Though we have come over here, we have not seen anything. We know कि here historical heritage temples are there, beaches are there. Though I am coming from Mumbai, I am not very fond of beaches because beaches we have seen over there. But I thought, okay, let us have these heritage buildings to see and temples to see. But no, because of our duty, I will not leave the place. So we have not gone anywhere. So simple request to the management over here. Keep next time whenever you have, at least spare us some space so that we can visit outside. At least campus tour to करा देते वो भी नहीं. So it will again give the dialogue with not only students and them. Academic wise, academic, see, this is also one kind of academy because we do not learn only academically in the four walls. We can learn outside, out of the walls also. Another thing, academically, see, there are so many thematic play and how many subjects, 22, yeah, 20, 21 and 28, total 49 ways to join us academically with this ISA. So we feel very great. And if we listen to all the experts and to the peer group and all these parallel technical sessions, we think whatever we don't get in a year with listening to our curriculum, we can get so many, so much depth of knowledge over here. So thank you very much for everything. Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Isa. And all of you are welcome to the next Isa also that will be at Trichy. And I think your management will tell where and how. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. We have come to the end of the 5 days event. We have completed our inaugural session, plenary, public lectures, parallel sessions, task force to some extent, and now we are before the validity session. We are waiting. Now only few minutes are left. By 3 we will start our validity session. And therefore, thank you all for being with us, making this productive. And formally, we'll be proposing vote of thanks when we'll be there in the validity session. But we have enjoyed academically. The plenary sessions were very, very good, very in depth, and all the experts from the country of their own credit, they have come and they delivered lectures, they discussed, and it was really wonderful. And I think by this, the Crescent has also gained and enjoyed, and obviously we have also become wiser. And now we are waiting for the validity session that will start by 3. Thank you so much for being with us, and be with us for next 1.5 hours. By 5, in any case, we are going to complete this validity session. Thank you so much.
A warm welcome to the valedictory function of this 45th Indian Social Science Congress, organized by Indian Social Science Academy in association with B.S. Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. Anyone who keeps learning stays young, said Henry Ford. The 5-day deliberations of this flagship event have certainly made us younger in mind and heart by broadening our perspectives and widening the horizons of our knowledge. Let's now begin the valedictory by paying due respects to our state song. May we now rise for the rendering of Tamil Thai Varthu.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கெழிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதிர் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரிதனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திறம் வியந்து செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே.
The joy of hosting is proclaimed through the words of welcoming. May I now invite Dr. T. Harinarayana, the Organizing Secretary of the 45th ISSE, to welcome the gathering.
Respected chief guest of today's function, Dr. Venugopal Saab, Director of National Physical Laboratory, New Delhi, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Pir Muhammad, Honorable Vice Registrar, Dr. Azad, Additional Registrar, Dr. Raja Hussain, Senior General Manager, who is giving directions to all of us, Sri VNA Jalal, and our dynamic General Secretary, Dr. Divakar, and young and energetic President of Academy, Professor Parth Sardi, and most importantly, the chairpersons, the conveners, and the speakers for the last 5 days who have been deliberating various subjects. So on this occasion, on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to welcome you cordially to this final day, which we have been waiting and we have been looking for the successful completion of this particular Congress. As you know that getting the Congress to the institute is not an easy task. They have very stringent measures to choose the institute, and then we fulfill their conditions, and then we have organized, and then we have successfully completed also. Now every day deliberations in the plenary speakers, it was sent on live in YouTube channel. Even now those who have missed it can view it in the YouTube channel of our Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, and also you can forward and make it wide publicity also in your own way using Instagram, Facebook, whatever you are well versed with. So this is an occasion also to develop networking, which we have done. Eminent persons and personalities from all parts of the country, for example, various vice chancellors came. 3-4 vice chancellors were here. and directors of national laboratories are here. See, this all happened only because of the Congress. And it has developed a good networking because they were not aware of our institute achievements before. When looking at the website is different from actual visit. So this gave a lot of opportunity. So several collaborative projects, because I'm a sponsored projects man, so I have to say promote sponsored projects from different institutions through collaboration. If one person can complete a project by 3 years, 2% complete in 1 year. That is the gain, time gain. Right? So collaborative, our Vice Chancellor also stressing on this. He's stressing on just not, we have added, we are stressing before him publications and patents. He added the one more P as a part of achievement. That is products. He would like to see a Crescent unique product. The entire India, perhaps maybe entire world will recognize Crescent achievement if we develop a product. It could be anything. As you can see, there are several startups which has come with innovative ideas. You can go and visit them and take the ideas and further develop it and make that this is unique. It is not only unique in India, it is unique in the world. Then Crescent will become definitely a global institute soon. So I request all of you take this opportunity not only in products and publications and patents, but also initiate collaborative things, because all the contact details of the eminent speakers and other things are already available in our website, in our brochures, and it is freely shareable, and they are all positive about our institute, and they are appreciating our institute achievements in different corners. Our honorable director of physical research laboratory has spent a lot of time with our faculty, especially physics department faculty, because is the national physical laboratory. He has seen in micro details of CAC startup companies. Now we definitely work with you, sir. We're going in a big way, not only with national physical laboratory, with all other CSI laboratories also in a big way in the years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your warm words of welcome. Now, we would like to honor our dignitaries. I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Peer Mohammed, to honor our Chief Guest, Dr. Venugopal, with a bouquet of flowers. I request our Vice Chancellor to honor the respected President of ISSA, Dr. G. Parthasarathy. Thank you, sir. May I now request our respected Registrar, Dr. A. Azad, to honor the Chief Rapporteur, Professor Ilangovan. Thank you, sir. I request our respected Senior General Manager, Mr. V.N.A. Jalal, to honor the General Secretary of ISSA, Dr. D.M. Divakar. Thank you, sir. I request the Organizing Secretary of 45th ISSE, Dr. T. Hari Narayana, to honor our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Peer Mohammed. I request Dr. Hari Narayana to honor our respected Registrar, Dr. A. Azad. I request you, sir, to honor our respected Additional Registrar, Dr. N. Raja Hussain. I request Dr. Hari Narayana to honor our respected Senior General Manager, Mr. V.N.A. Jalal. Thank you, sir.
May I now request Professor Ilangovan, Chief Rapporteur, to present the report on the proceedings of this 45th Indian Social Science Congress.
A very good afternoon to all of you. A most respected President Insha and beloved Vice Chancellor of this reputed institution, and beloved the General Secretary of INSA, Professor Divakar, the Registrar and the other dignitaries on the dais, the Organizing Secretary, Professor Harinarayanan, and the dignitaries of the dais and the participants drawn from the different parts of the country, and my dear students and research scholars. It's a great honor to present the entire proceedings of the last 5 days. Indian Social Science Congress is a rare opportunity for exhibiting their innovative ideas. And the very theme of the program is very, very relevant and much need of the hour. So therefore, it is a right occasion that we have to applaud the authorities and the organizers having chosen a right topic. Of course, the impact of this environment, health, and the energy has not been seen visible, but it has created millions and millions of vulnerable communities across the planet Earth. Of course, that we have not taken that problem very seriously, but INSA has taken it very, very seriously, and it has disseminated that information on the right platform. And for that, the Crescent University has given an excellent opportunity to convey this important message. So, on this occasion, I would like to congratulate the Crescent University, the persons at the helm of the affairs who has come forward, and those who have given their hands for traveling this journey. So once again, congratulations, sir. So with this words, I would like to start my observation, all these 5 days observation. The 45th Indian Social Science Congress inaugural session was held on 28/3/2022. Dr. Divakar, General Secretary, INSA, welcomed the gatherings. Professor Dr. Rajivan, former Secretary to Government of India, Earth Science gave chief guest address. Professor Dr. Parthasarathi, President INSA, have presidential address. On this occasion, chief guest Professor M. Rajivan has released the 45th Indian Social Science Congress souvenir. He also released a book written by Dr. Chaubi and Professor Divakar. On this occasion, our Honorable Vice Chancellor of B.S. Abdur Rahman Institute of Science and Technology, Dr. A. Peer Mohammed, detailed the various achievements of this reputed university. INSA awarded 2 gold medals. Peasant Sarkar Gold Medal was awarded to Mr. Ravish Kumar, a popular journalist, and B.N. Rangarao Gold Medal was awarded to P. Sainath, well-known journalist. Mr. B.S.A. Arif Bukhari Rahman, Chancellor, felicitated the Congress for its success. Registrar Dr. A. Azad felicitated the Congress. Professor Dr. A. Raja Hussain, Additional Registrar, has proposed vote of thanks. The inaugural session of the 45th Indian Social Science Congress was over with the national anthem. The plenary session of the 45th Indian Social Science Congress was started with Professor D. Rajivan, former Secretary to Government of India at Science, and his lecture, he focused on deep mining, followed by Dr. Parthasarathi, President INSA, delivered a lecture on various metals. One of the reasons for a Russian invasion of Ukraine was to capture the lithium, he observed in his speech. It is a hidden agenda of Russia. The discussion session of 28 parallel and concurrent research committee session was over with the address of the chairman of the concerned committees. Public lectures started on that day, the first day, at 5 p.m. after the parallel session. Mr. Ravish Kumar has delivered a lecture on television channels. He detailed how television channels are working like a factory. He sarcastically described how news factories are working. Question session was very active. After this task force meeting was conducted. Public lecture after this task force meeting was conducted. After this lecture, INSA general body meeting was held. In the afternoon, parallel session of the research committees were started with the address of the chairman of the various topics. Day 2. There were two speakers who presented their ideas in the plenary session. The first speaker is Rajiv Chowdhury. He sheds light on organic farming. He observed the importance of organic farming and self-reliance. Organic farming and contribution protects all, and it is a means for climate mitigation. The second speaker of that session was Professor Kalidas, Vice Chancellor, Bharadiyar University. He did his presentation through online. He delivered a lecture on the future of science, technology, and innovation. In protecting the environment, he observed that changes in the syllabus mean for the students of higher education is aimed to achieve this malady. After his speech, the discussion session started. Professor D.M. Divakar initiated the discussion. Other participants were also joined with this discussion. The discussion session was very active. After the lunch break, parallel concurrent sessions of various research committees and thematic sessions were conducted in various seminar and lecture halls of this university. Paper presenters were actively presented their papers and they interestingly replied the questions raised by the participants. Public lecture of the second day was started at 5 p.m. in the seminar hall number 1 in the convention center. Professor S. Chatterjee has delivered a lecture on scientific temper and self-reliance. Question session was very active. After the public lecture, INSA general body meeting was held. Day 3. The plenary session started with Professor Velraj, Vice Chancellor, Anna University. Then Professor Santosh K. Kaur was the next speaker of the plenary session. He emphasized that the clean environment is a must to avoid waterborne diseases like malaria. He suggested taking a curcumin controlled diseases. The next speaker of the session was Professor Shankar Kumar Nath. He shed lights on tectonic shifts and its impact on Earth and how the tectonic shift causes the tsunami and its repercussions. After the tea break, Professor V. N. Boraskar delivered a lecture on treatment of wastewater. He suggested ultraviolet rays can be used to treat wastewater. Professor Sudha Boraskar delivered a lecture on solid waste management. She suggested plasma technology can best suit to treat the non-segregated waste. The another speaker of the same session was Professor Shakil Ahmed. He spoke on putting groundwater into mind of the people. He observed that electromagnetic waves are used to extract information under the ground. After the lunch break, parallel concurrent sessions of research committee and thematic sessions were conducted in various seminar halls of this university. Papers were selected both on papers conducted on both online and offline mode. Majority of the research papers were presented offline. In the public lecture session, B.V. Rangarao Memorial Lecture was delivered by Mr. P. Sainath, a popular journalist. He delivered a lecture on journalism in social science. In his speech, he noted that journalism the most interdisciplinary of all the streams. The speaker answered all the questions patiently raised by the participants. Day 4. The fourth day plenary session was started with an excellent scientist from the National Physical Laboratory. He explained how standards are fixed. After the tea break, Brigadier P. Ganeshram delivered a lecture on innovation by common man. He explained how this innovation simplifies the complex tasks of agriculture and in the way of life. His session was most relevant to the theme of the conference. Followed this, Dr. K. Murugan, former Vice Chancellor, has delivered a lecture on pest. He devoted his speech on mosquitoes and butterflies. After the lunch break, parallel concurrent sessions of research committees and thematic sessions were conducted in various seminar halls of this university. The papers were conducted both online and offline. Majority of the research papers were presented offline. Then executive meeting was conducted. Executive meeting of INSA was conducted after this session. Then day 5. The plenary session started with Professor N.R. Jaganathan from Imaging Techniques in Medical Sciences, AIMS, Delhi, delivered a lecture on cancer and types of cancer. Followed this by Professor Rana Pratap Singh spoke on converting carbon source into carbon sink. The next speaker of this session was Mrs. Kirtana Kumar. She sheds light on disability versus queer ecology. This is a glaring example that INSA giving space for young scholars to exhibit their innovative ideas. And followed this, Dr. Harsha Merchant lecture on happy learning. The question session was very active, and thank you very much. These are all the various programs conducted in the last 5 days, and the of course the participants, some of the students who continuously participated might have gained a lot of information. What I would like to quote here is one important thing is that this Indian Social Science Congress really disseminates lot of information which are badly needed to our society. Take it very seriously and try to disseminate this information. Very frequently, we are asking questions: who will take care of us? Who will take care of us? Who will take care of us? INSA is there to take care of both science and social science. You might have watched the entire the gamut of the Indian Social Science Congress programs. If you keenly observed the things, it covers equally science and social science. It clearly establishes the fact that, of course, science and social science, there is no separate wall. So without science, there is no social science. Without social science, there is no science. So it is a mutual, and it should travel hand to hand so that we can make the planet Earth so peaceful and happy to all. So thank you once again for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir, for presenting the essential highlights of this remarkable event in a nutshell. And also, thank you for your warm words of appreciation and wishes. Could I now request our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Venugopal Achanta, Director, CSIR NPL New Delhi, to deliver the valedictory address.
Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Peer Mohammed, Professor Pardasar, the President of Indian Social Science Academy, um, Professor Azad, Registrar Crescent, Dr. Raja Hussain, so I have so many names like so Professor Elangovan, Professor T. Harinarayana, and Sri Jalal, and Dr. Divakar, so and all who are in the audience, right? So this is one of the things which I'm still learning. I'm still a scientist at heart. I'm trying to learn like how to give public lecture, addressing everyone in order and in sequence, right? In Delhi, it matters, right? So, any case, so for today's thing, social science. So one of the things when I was invited here, like I was wondering, like, so what am I going to do here? And during my talk, like, so one of the senior persons, he asked me, like, so what is it? Like, how are you connecting what you presented with energy, environment, and health, right? So what is social science? So social science, unfortunately, our education has taught us that social science means like you are talking about economics, politics, civics, or sociology, psychology, something like that, right? But there is a much bigger definition, much bigger role of social sciences, which is it's not just studying some particular aspect of the society or how humans interact with humans, but how the society is growing, how the society is evolving, right? This is also a part and important ingredient of social sciences. That's where we are bringing in. So how does a society grow, right? So what is fiction? What is fiction from reality? Did we have pushbacks? So there is no proof for it. But we do have different technologies, right? Different other technologies which we have literature proving that, like, so we did have those things thousands of years ago, right? This is not fiction, right? So it's social sciences is something which brings together people from the society to innovators to scientists who will help us grow in every facet of life, right? Whether it be the three themes or something else, right? So the main important thing is uh, we need to address the societal problems, right? So one of my teachers used to say this, like, so what's the point of so many engineers in India, right? Especially he used to say that in South India, like, so we don't even have a automatic dosa machine, right? After 40 years, we do have now coming up something which makes dosas automatically, right? So the point to be taken here is, what's the point of education? What's the point of all our innovations if we're not solving our own local problems, right? And how do we know when I'm sitting in a lab doing what I want to do? How do I know that what problem to address? Unless I talk to the masses, unless I go and interact with people, unless I take lessons from my own life, right? I'll not be able to address these challenges. And this is where bringing the society with the scientists will actually help address these challenges. So that's where the Social Science Academy has a major role, and that's what I learned coming here, right? And how do we solve problems? First is identifying, then addressing them. We cannot address or solve every single problem, right? Collaborations are very important. This is another very sad aspect in India, is that, like, we shun collaborations. If somebody has done work together, he say that are collaboration work hai, right? Okay, so he has 10 authors or 10 co-authors in his papers. But if you see anywhere else in the world, that's what solves bigger challenging problems. When you talk about big accelerators or anything major, it's not done by 1, 10, or 100 people. There are thousands of people in CERN, the European facility, right? So even if you're talking about IT or any major uh, scientific program, it involves multiple countries, tens of countries with thousands of scientists who are coming together. These are not just physics or chemistry or biology. They're everyone, every single aspect. Actually, you have engineers, right, from computer science to mechanical engineers. Everyone is coming together and build this big equipment which are helping us understand basic questions. When we are understanding or putting our effort to address these basic uh, questions, like, so where does uh, I mean, how does universe evolving, or where it all started, right? If you ask these basic questions, that's where we try to innovate and develop challenging solutions to address these questions, to find answers for these questions. We may not find answers for these questions, but eventually the technology is developed, right? Ethernet is a good example which most of us hear of, right? Internet evolved from CERN labs or somewhere else, right? So these are things which come out and will help the society to grow. So without basic R&D, there's literally nothing one can do. There is a difference between Jugaad and an innovation. A Jugaad is, you don't know, like, I mean, you want something, you want to suck air, you put an aluminum frame and put a exhaust fan on it. Like, yes, you are sucking air and circulating it. But then when you think about the problem, you know that there are vibrations, there are sound coming from that, right? How do we know all these things? When we think, when we apply our basic common sense, basic knowledge which we are studying in school and colleges. If we apply that, we'll be able to innovate and make real products which are engineered products. They are not jugaad, right? So in India, we're still uh, I mean, in the Jugaad world, right? It's good to see Crescent having the innovation center. I was really impressed because there is a lot of support for the startups, and young entrepreneurs are being encouraged. So this is something which we should emulate in every engineering college. right? So these are things which will help the society to grow. I'm happy that we have science, all sciences, and the sociology background people. They're all coming together here so that we can identify the societal challenges which we can address, and we can make a meaningful attempt to solve these local challenges, right? So with that, I will stop here. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for throwing light on the need for people-specific and problem-specific technological development. Thank you so much.
The roots of all goodness lie in the soil of appreciation, said Dalai Lama. The Honorable Vice Chancellor of B.S. Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology is an able administrator and an embodiment of simplicity and humility. May I request the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. A. Pir Mohammed, to offer felicitations.
Good afternoon, all of you. Dr. Venugopal, the chief guest of today's valedictory function. Professor Pasardi, President ISA. Professor Divakar, General Secretary ISA. Our registrar, our additional registrar, our senior general manager, Mr. Elangovan, and our organizing secretary, Dr. Hari Narayana, and our deans, directors, HODs, the chairpersons and the conveners of various committees, the distinguished speakers, invitees, and our faculty members and students, friends. So we have come to the conclusion of the 45th Indian Social Science Congress, so which was inaugurated on Monday. And Professor Ilangovan summed up what happened in the last 5 days. It's all because of the effort, of course, initiated from Indian Social Science Academy and ably supported by our B.S. Abdul Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, with the support received from all the faculty members. So we could conduct the proceedings in a better manner, taking care of the requirements of all the invitees, speakers. Of course, we are on the front end, and the back end, many people actually toil. They left no stone unturned, and nobody could notice their tireless effort. Of course, Dr. Hari Narayana mentioned that we are very fortunate to get the opportunity of hosting this Indian Social Science Congress in our campus. So definitely we are happy. But at the same time, our team spend sleepless nights to see that the conference and the Congress goes on well and everything is completed in a successful manner. I'm really happy to stand before you, and I have to thank Dr. Hari Narayana and his whole team for making this Congress a great success. Lot of efforts actually. Of course, it's not without a purpose. As told by one of the speakers, the Indian Social Science Academy is very much concerned about the society. So that's why they have this academy and organize the Congress every year in different parts of the country. So they want to make the science relevant to the society, and particularly to the underprivileged section, the deprived section of our community. I could attend many sessions. I listened to the lectures. They're all very concerned about the deprived section. So definitely whatever the effort our people have made, it would have everlasting effect on the upliftment and the empowerment of the society. So you should rest assured, you can feel happy that you've done a wonderful job. And the last 5 days, many dissemination. If you sum up, there are two important outcomes. One is the dissemination of knowledge of highest order. I could say that I was present, so those who are present could have understood and appreciated. All the papers are highest order, and the state of the technology was made known to everyone. Those who attended have become richer, definitely, in knowledge. That is very difficult to get going through internet or looking around the books and all. So I'll given in on a golden platter. So whatever the knowledge and the experience they gained over 30 or 40 years, they gave it in just half an hour or 1 hour. So that's why we are able to bridge the gap of knowledge, and of course bridge the gap of experience by attending to their lecture. The topics covered from meteorology, energy for the building, energy storage, which is very, very relevant in today's context, and wastewater management. Everybody talks about effluent treatment, the plasma technology, the latest technology now being used for wastewater management, and the seismic studies, groundwater studies. Every city is running short of water. So Dr. Shakil Ahmed throw light on groundwater studies in the today morning on enema application for cancer detection, and of course on the highest level the nuclear fusion and fission. All these topics were covered. So in the dissemination of knowledge, so it served a wonderful purpose actually, all gained by attending all these lectures. The other outcome I would say that is building relationship. So though who are already known might have renewed their relationship. So first time, isn't it, those who see each other could build a new relationship. I was very particular about in cementing the relationship. I talked to all the deans and HODs of the respective area and introduced to the speakers. Then they could visit the department and we meet the faculty members. And of course, some gave lecture to the students also. So that building the relationship, that is more important. Many mention about the importance of the collaboration. Of course, without collaboration, we cannot succeed. Nothing is possible, I would say that. So collaboration is the key word for our success and progress. I would stress upon the new type of learning. Everybody knows about that. That is called the T type of learning. T-shaped learning is called. So the vertical line is your domain knowledge. That is knowing everything of something. And the horizontal line is your collaborative character. That is knowing something of everything. So these two aspects is necessary. You should know everything about something and you should know simultaneously something about everything. So then only you can interact and collaborate. So that collaboration would result in some better product, better service. In that way only we can serve the community. So the 5-day Congress actually helped in dissemination of knowledge and building very good relationship. So in the process, of course, our D.S. Abdur Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology has also gained in many ways, particularly in the perception level. So people have come from different parts of the country. The invitees, the delegates, the speakers, all parts actually. Probably they might have come first time to visit our campus. And everybody who visit our campus, the first reaction, and when they meet them and ask about their stay and other things, immediately they would say that they are very much impressed by our campus. The campus is well built, well developed over the last 30 or 40 years, particularly giving importance for cleanliness and greeneries. It's a very clean and green campus. Probably, so one of the rarest campuses anybody could see. I also visited many places. It's a very beautiful campus actually. So giving importance for protecting the environment. So actually, so one information that we produce more oxygen and release less carbon dioxide here in our campus. Really. So our standard is actually the carbon dioxide release is 1/3 less than the national average. So we are very particular about in maintaining the campus. So it's clean and green. That's why it's hygienic also. All the people here are very healthy. Actually, in the COVID time, we didn't face many problems. So it's all taken care by our management. So not only providing the academic input, we also take care of all other aspects. The all-round aspects also well taken care by our faculty and management. So our perception level definitely has gone up, and our faculty also are taking cue from attending this kind of conferences, will also go to other campuses, interact with other people, get to know about the developments that are being taking place, keep updating ourselves with all the latest developments. That's why, and then only we can grow our institute to a highest, by bringing our institute to the highest level possible. So I would thank actually the Indian Social Science Academy for having selected our institute to host this 45th Congress. I would definitely say that we gained a lot by hosting this Congress in our campus. So we will cherish the memories for a quite long time. And I request all the delegates who come from outside, keep visiting our campus quite frequently. And we are here to host you, to entertain you, to take care of all your needs, both socially and academically. Before I conclude, I thank everyone who has taken part in making this Congress a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the hard work of the committee members and the greater significance of this Congress in disseminating information to the audience on science and social science.
Could I now request our esteemed registrar, Dr. A. Azad, our pillar of support and strength and a constant source of inspiration, to offer felicitations.
Good evening to all of you. Respected and beloved Vice Chancellor of our institute, Dr. A.P. Mohammed, the Organizing Secretary, Dr. T. Harinarayana, the Chief Guest of our program, Dr. Venugopal Achanta, Director CSAR NPL New Delhi. From ISSA, Dr. D.M. Divakar and Mr. Ilangovan, our beloved Additional Registrar, Dr. Raja Hussain, Senior General Manager, Dr. V.N.A. Jalal, and all other dignitaries who are here with us, respected professors of our university, teaching staff, supporting staff, delegates from various universities and institutes, and my dear students. As I told on an earlier occasion, social science is a very colorful discipline. It brings a lot of knowledge about ourselves. It's about people, first of all. I started, I'm a mechanical engineer, so I started as usual with machines, okay, then later computers, and then quality management. But when I had to teach a subject on sustainable development and manufacturing, since manufacturing was there, I had to offer it. Suddenly, I found another world. Okay, earlier the only humanity area I concentrated was quality with the workers, people, production, management, optimization, and all that. But when you go into, say, international economics or subjects like sustainable development and manufacturing, suddenly you find that you have to see the earth as a whole, the humanity as a whole. If you see the newspapers or TV and all that, you will find that everybody is trying to, divide the world into countries, okay, divide the people into, societies, haves and have-nots. But like, one Russian cosmonaut told, Gagarin, he told, from Earth, when you see from the space, when you see the Earth, there are no borderlines. It is one. It's a very beautiful blue color ball. So, the social science, the ultimate aim is that people should have a great life with the understanding and, good health and all that. So this Indian Social Science Congress has brought a lot of delegates from different places. It added, to tell the truth to all of you, a different flavor, okay, a different flavor to all of us. I'm sorry, I forgot to. Exactly, somebody knows that I am. Exactly. This also should be studied. Huh? Okay, I'm really sorry about it. Usually I switch off. Okay. Anyway, if anybody was unattentive, you have become attentive now. Okay, right. So, in that sustainable development, when I was taking this, was introduced something called suddenly bottom of the pyramid. As engineer, we know what is a pyramid. Bottom of the pyramid, what is that? If you take the wealth of people, it is like a pyramid structure. The rich people are at the top. It's a very small corner. 2% of the people, 3% of the people. At the bottom of there are large number of people. They are very poor, deprived and all that. And in between there are many layers. So they say that any effort you put the effort on the bottom of the pyramid. Then if you try to share everything, everybody will become only poor. Okay. So they put one vertical axis and horizontal axis. This is the economic development. If you want the bottom of the pyramid to be, to have a good life, the whole pyramid should move up. From zero up. You don't disturb the pyramid, but move the pyramid up. Okay. This is a huge effort put by the social scientists, governments, and international organizations like United Nations and all that. Another thing is the research on social science. Just now I was speaking about one thing. For example, some years before, in the 80s, our state government has brought a revamped midday meal scheme. That is, they wanted to give midday meals, afternoon lunch for all the students. Because their parents were going to work early in the morning, the children were not bringing food, they were starving, and many people are not coming to the school because food is not there, etc., etc. But when that scheme was announced, the Tamil Nadu government's budget was smaller one. So people told that if you spend for this so much of money, then our government will be in difficulty. However, our successful governments have sustained them. It was done so that children will come to school. But later, there was some international organization. It was studying the health of school children in all developing countries. And they came out with a very interesting finding that in Tamil Nadu alone, children do not have many diseases associated with malnutrition. So this one-time assured meal has removed many diseases from the people. This was discussed and then many countries introduced. Now all over India, there is a scheme for midday meal scheme. But unless that research was done, people would not have known all this. And this is the power of research. So the research also helps the governments on where to spend the money. Now you have realized where to spend the money. Very interestingly, now there is a new trend. There is a new trend for good governance. It is appearing here, there, and all that. For example, a new political party came from nowhere and then said, we will remove corruption. And they captured the capital of India. Now they are capturing one state of India, one of the most affluent state of India. In Singapore, in one year, they told, you paid a lot of tax, so we are returning some money back to you. Okay, the Singapore government. In Sweden, they have indexes for human development. They keep on be improving, people's level. If you take Switzerland, any law has to be voted by every citizen. So every 3 months, whenever they bring a new law, every 3 months there is a voting on various things. This is the new law, this is the new regulation, this is it. Every 3 months you go and vote. If majority accept, it becomes a law, otherwise it is rejected. So recently the citizens voted against one thing. Do you know what it is? In Switzerland, somebody gave a proposal, everyone should have some minimum income. So they told that approximately per head 25,000 rupees. So every month, every citizen of Switzerland will get 25,000 rupees. So that, there is no deprived class and all that. Everyone will have a stable 25,000 rupees. Some common minimum income wage and all that. The citizens voted against it. They told that we don't want free money. We want to work and then earn the money. Why we will have minimum wage? Finished. So it showed some another type of society. Another good governance recently is that I went to United Arab Emirates, Dubai, Abu Dhabi and all that. Wherever you go near any government, facility or officers, they start helping you. It is in the reverse of what happens in many, many countries. They give you a cell phone number and then say, if you have any difficulty, you call me. They give clear instructions. They also help you. If you go to this side, there's a long queue, you go to that side. Every government official we met, from the airport to, RT-PCR test, everybody was, they were helping me. Then I asked one fellow, finally I got hold of one of our alumni, Crescent alumni, and told what is happening here. He says, there is a minister for happiness. Okay, it's they have created a ministry for happiness. Their job is to make sure that citizens are not into any difficulty. Okay, I asked how do you measure happiness? They say there is an index. Different type of people should be able to live happily in one place. Another point, minimum or no tax. Okay, third one, comfortable transport. People should not struggle in transport, they should be able to go. Fourth, learn to live together, appreciate the differences. You may have differences, but you should accept the differences and then live together. Like that, there's an index. So, social science will help all of us. The research will be helpful for all of us. We will gain from whatever we have learned. And finally, on behalf of our institute, I thank the Indian Social Science Congress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for highlighting the significance of social science and the need for a holistic approach towards science and social science research. Thank you. May I now request our respected additional registrar, Dr. N. Raja Hussain, a dynamic personality with inimitable administrative skills, to offer felicitations.
45th Indian Social Science Congress is going to give a valedictory. Now the valedictory is going on. It's a really, I cannot say how, அந்த அளவுக்கு தமிழில் சொல்லணும்னா எனக்கே ஒரு அவ்வளவு மனசுக்கு சந்தோஷமாகவும் ஒரு பெரிய உற்சாகமாக இருக்கிறது இந்த நேரத்தில் தமிழில் சொல்லணும்னு சொன்னால். I am very much excited because when our Parthasari sir and Divakar sir approached our Vice Chancellor, immediately we accepted, we ready to conduct this congress in our university. Now we are witnessing how much the various delegates, resource persons, the various personalities come over here from the various parts of this country and deliberated, given their useful information for the society. So under this momenta, on behalf of the Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, I congratulate the chief guest come over here and given a valedictory address. Really, it gives me immense pleasure, sir, on this happiest occasion for your valuable valedictory address. Likewise, our ISA president, Dr. Parthasarathi, Professor Parthasarathi, is a person always smiling and how to get things done with others. That management personality concept he is having. That's why he can be able to achieve these things. Being a president of this ISA, he can be able to achieve lot of things under his leadership. The 45th Congress valedictory is going on well with the support on behalf of the organizers, particularly the Crescent Institute of Science and Technology. We congratulate you, sir. The most honorable Vice Chancellor is a person behind all the success. We have to appreciate. We have to give a big round of applause for his the commitment and involvement, whatever they, without considering anything. The thing only aim is அந்த சொல்லும்ல குதிரைக்கு லாடம் கட்டி விட்டு போன மாதிரி நம்ம இந்த கான்ஃபரன்ஸை 100% இல்லை 200% சக்ஸஸ்ஃபுல்லாக நடத்தணும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரே எய்மில் கொண்டு போனார். Now we are witnessing the success here. Thank you very much, sir, for your involvement, commitment, participation. Yes, sir. So we congratulate on behalf of the ISA as well as the institute. We congratulate you, sir. Likewise, our today General Secretary Parthasari sir, Divakar sir, he is also a person, a committed person. Come over here, organize this 5 days program in a successful way. On behalf of the organizers and Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, we congratulate you, sir. We felicitate you on this happiest occasion, sir. Likewise, our good friend, Professor Ilangovan, he also come over here and involved in various activities for the past 5 days. And some of the, he has briefly given his report about the 5 days program. On the behalf of the organizers, I congratulate you, sir, for this successful event. And our respected registrar, for his wonderful felicitation address. He has given a lot of information about the society, what it needs. Not only that, our university is also getting a lot of benefits, faculty, students, and the society by his great administration. On this moment, we congratulate you, sir. Likewise, our Senior General Manager, through VNA Jalal sir, for his, though he is 56 years of service, still is extending our support in all aspects, particularly the every arrangements made here
for the food or whatever the accommodation, everything for in association with the various committees. He totally committed, he totally involved for the successful conduct of this Congress. Really, on behalf of the organizers, we congratulate you, sir. Likewise, our organizing secretary, Professor Hari Narayanan. எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச தமிழில் சொல்லணும்னு சொன்னால், என்னைக்கு நம்ம வைஸ் சான்சலர் சார் நீங்கள் ஆர்கனைசிங் செக்ரட்டரி யாருங்கன்னு அன்னைக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டார். He started his giving program, inviting the papers from various personalities, research students, scholars, everybody. Such a great person, committed person. Definitely, really, he brings laurels to our institute only because of his involvement. On behalf of this organizers and institute, we congratulate you, sir. Likewise, the various office bearers of ISA, Indian Social Science Academy, office bearers, my dear deans, directors, delegates, resource persons, and student volunteers, various committee or various committee or organizing committee member, chairman as well as members. We, on behalf of our Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, individually express their concern, express their gratitude, express their felicitation to each and every one of you for your involvement and commitment to make the this event a success one. Finally, I have to express my wishes. The Indian Social Science Congress, 45th Congress, not only bring the various resource persons all over the India, they have given a lot of inputs to the society, what the society is needed now. For that, they have given the information, inputs, as well as how to various issues are also discussed in the more than 50 sessions held in this 5 days conference. Really, all these events definitely useful to the society, useful to the community, useful to our students, useful to the research scholars in whole. On behalf of the organizers, the Indian Social Science Academy and BSc Abdur Rahman Crescent Institute of Science and Technology, we wish everyone for your participation, involvement, and make this function Congress a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your happiness, your grateful acknowledgements, and congratulatory words.
The certificates are to be distributed now. As we call out the names of the research and theme committees, I request the conveners of the respective committees to collect the certificates. May I now request the esteemed chief guest, Dr. Venugopal Achanta, to distribute the certificates. R3, Archaeology, History and Culture. Dr. Shahidul Islam. R5, Biotechnology. R5, Biotechnology, Dr. S.M. Shahida, Dr. V. Saumya Lakshmi. R6, Chemical Science, Dr. D. Ishwaramurthy, Dr. J. Herbert Mabel. R7, Commerce, Dr. Afzalur Rahman, Dr. N. Indumadi. R9, Computer Science and Engineering, Dr. Venkatesan Selvam, Dr. N. Ayanathan. R10, Earth Science, Dr. Hari Narayana, Ms. K. Kanmani. R11, Ecological and Environmental Science, Dr. Revati Purushothaman, Dr. Shahida Parveen. R12, Economics, Dr. Ayub Khan Dawood, Dr. Kripa B. Nair. R13, Education, Dr. SKG Ganesh, Dr. S. Saravanan. R14, Engineering Science, Dr. S. Rasul Mohidin, Dr. A. Arukya Julius. R16, Home Science, Dr. Y. Ismail, Dr. L. H. Tamimul Ansari. R19, Linguistics, Dr. H. Sophia, Dr. Haidar Yasmin. R20, Management Science, Dr. Shanmugam, Dr. J. Hemalata. R21, Mathematical and Statistical Science, Dr. S. Srinivasan, Dr. C. D. Nandakumar. In their absence, Dr. Bernik Raj. R22, Medical and Health Science, Dr. Haja Nazir Ahmed, Mr. Mohammed Habib. R23, Philosophy, Dr. S. Hamid Kader Ali, Dr. Irfan Nawab Shan. R24, Physical Science, Dr. M. Bashir Ahmed, Dr. Amiruddin. In their absence, Dr. Vijay Raghavan will collect it. R26, Psychology, Dr. S. Vijayakumar, Dr. N. Sheikh Hamid. T1, Conflicts, War, Peace and Social Security, Dr. Syed Mohammed, Dr. B. Karthikeyan. T2, Democracy and Human Rights, Dr. C. Tarini, Dr. B. Vijayalakshmi. T4, Ethics of Science and Society, Dr. K. Srinivasan. T9, Nation States and Emerging Challenges, Dr. P. Sheikh Abdul Qadir, Dr. Jaya. T12, people, Dalits, tribes, women, peasants. Dr. I.B. Shamim Banu, Dr. M. Vijaya Jayanti. T13, People's Health and Quality of Life, Dr. N. Prakash, Ms. A. Sonia. T16, Population, Poverty and Migration, Dr. S. Panbuli, Ms. R. Priya. T17, Rural Technology, Social Organizations and Rural Development, Dr. A. S. Selvakumar and Dr. S. Jiavuddin. Thank you, sir. T17, Dr. A. S. Selvakumar and Dr. S. Jiavuddin. Dr. Hemalata for R1 Agriculture Science and Dr. Karthikeyan. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for distributing the certificates. We would like to call the remaining teams as well. R2 Anthropology, Dr. P. Ashok Dr. T. Purkadi. R4 Biological Science, Dr. Karthikeyan, Dr. Vimal Kumar.
R8, Communication and Journalism, Dr. P. Ratna ma'am and Mrs. Catherine Annapushpam. R15, Geography, Mr. M.V. Duresh Kumar.
Mr. K. M. Ilanjalian and Mr. M.V. Duresh Kumar. R17, International Relations Studies and Defense Strategic Studies, Mr. M. Parvez Alam, Mr. C. N. Prem Kumar. R18, Juridical Science, Dr. Arab Muhammad Shamimullah, Ms. Sherin Farhana. R25, Political Science, Dr. P. Pannir Selvam, Mr. Selva Anthony. R27, Social Work, Dr. Aisha Banu, Dr. C. Srinivasan. R28, Sociology, Dr. Moon Hussain, Dr. P. Devi, Dr. C. Naushad. R29, Architectural Science, Dr. Architecture G. Jayalakshmi, Architect Tilakavadi. R30, Foreign Languages, Dr. P. S. Syed Masood Jamali, Maulavi Abdul Hai. R31 Pharmacology, Dr. M. Vijay Varaprasad, Ms. S. Prema. T3 Ecological and Environmental Protection Movements, Dr. Vasanthi Padmanabhan, Dr. Priya. T5 Global Warming and Climate Change, Dr. S. Kutirani. T6 History and Philosophy of Science, Dr. Muhammad Sheikh Sirajuddin, Dr. Indrajit. T7 Information Technology, Mass Media and Culture, Dr. Muhammad Diwan Masood. T15 Political Economy of India, Dr. Anuradha Rajaprabhu, Dr. Ritu Gangal. T18 Science Communication and Science Popularization, Dr. Siddhi Jailani, Dr. V. Muralidharan. T19 Science, Technology and Social Development, Dr. M. Sai Balaji, Dr. Muhammad Ilyas. T20 Social Processes, Social Structures and Social Alienation, Dr. P. N. Kadiresh, Mr. S. V. Karthikeyan. T21 Unity of Science, Professor Dr. P. K. Jawahar, Dr. G. Kannan. T22 Tamil Literature, History and Achievements, Dr. Radhika Meghanathan, Dr. Hemlata. T12 Dr. Yogeshwari. T8 Dr. Haidar Yasmin, Dr. Rahila Nelson. Thank you so much, sir, for your patience.
May I now request Dr. G. Parthasarathi, President, Indian Social Science Academy, to deliver the presidential address.
Yeah, I shall take 5 minutes. Good afternoon, respected Chief Guest, Professor Venugopal Achanta. Some special day for him today because he's the director of 2 labs, CSAR labs. All of you received certificates from director of NPL and director of IGIB. Today, he is additional charge of director IGIB, okay? Professor Vice Chancellor, Professor Pierre Mohammed, Dr. Divakar, General Secretary, till this function, and Professor Azad, Registrar, because you are more than Registrar. You know more science than the normal scientist. Yes, thank you. Professor Raja Hussain, as Additional Registrar, Professor Jalal, Senior General Manager, and Professor Ilangovan, You did a wonderful job of summarizing all 5 days seminar. And at last, I can say, my dear friend, Professor Hari Narayana. Thank you. And students, professors, lecturers, deans, faculty members, and volunteers, and my dear colleagues from Indian Social Science Academy. I am really grateful to all of you for the successful event of this 45th Indian Social Science Congress. The United Nations General Assembly, 6 months back, they made a resolution saying 2022 is the year of the basic science, which is applicable to society sustainable development. This Indian Social Science Congress with the theme environment, health, and energy and health. This is all is covered under SD, that means Social Development, Sustainable Development Scheme. So it's very much justified. And we have we had distinguished speakers. Everybody is an expert in their own field, outstanding scientists. And ISA has provided the platform, and Crescent has invited and treated very well. I'm really thankful to Crescent. For example, I tell 1 or 2 examples. For standards, you cannot get better person than Professor Venugopal Lachanta. From NMR, magnetic imaging, today morning you attended, you cannot get better person than Jagannathan. And for water, you cannot get better person than Professor Shakil Ahmed. He gave a wonderful lecture. And water waste, mining waste, solid waste, atmosphere, you cannot get better person than Gurfan Beg. He measured the particulate matter 2.5 and calibrated. And that's fantastic. And he gave an online lecture right from PMO's office. He was sitting there in Delhi, and from there he gave. Such affection he has for Crescent. I'm just telling you. So they're all distinguished speakers. So I am really grateful for the nice arrangements you made. What I want to say in the presidential address, first I must thank all of you. If I miss somebody, my sincere apologies, but I thank all of you from bottom of my heart. Second is, you must attend all the lectures. Whenever outsiders come, you must attend all the lectures. Each chairman of each section is highly qualified people. Professor Larson, he took care of engineering section. He came from Jain University, Bangalore. And he is outstanding in his own way. Huge number of publications guiding people. And Professor Chatterjee was there. He was an outstanding physicist. He has given a nice talk on history, earlier history, since independence, what happened, political science. And Professor Divagar, he came early and he did much more work than the local organization secretary in meeting people, mobilizing and talking everybody, taking care of accommodation and all. So I don't know how to thank every individuals. This is more like a vote of thanks, I would say. As a president, from bottom of my heart, I thank all of you. I would like to request all the students to, my sincere apologies for stopping all your work for last few weeks. At least now you please work hard for your examinations and come up well. You should feel proud of Crescent, and Crescent will feel proud of you. Jai Hind. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for bringing to limelight the distinctive features of this 45th Indian Social Science Congress. Thank you.
Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all others, said Cicero. As the curtains are being drawn on this grand event, may I now request the General Secretary of ISA, Dr. D.M. Divakar, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest of this occasion, Director of now 2
greatest institution of this country, Professor A. Venugopal Achanta Sahab, Honorable President of Isha, Professor G. Parthasarathy Sahab, very dynamic, versatile genius, Vice Chancellor of this university, Professor A. Pir Muhammad Sahab, and his vibrant team, Dr. Raja Sahab, Raja Hussain Sahab, excellent management of Jalal Sahab, an effective organizing secretary, Professor T. Harnan Sahab, Professor Langavan Sahab, the people on the other side, honorable participants, honorable issue members, our new General Secretary, Professor N. Samba Shivrao Sahab, Dr. N.T. Chaube Sahab, all fellow delegates and friends. I am feeling privileged to be with you on this best occasion of completion and successful completion of this 45th Congress. And the credit goes to you all. See, when Parthasarathy Sahab says something, he is the head of the family, so he always gives patting so that we can move on. But the fact of the matter is, if we do not have the strong support and a smiling face of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, whenever we are in a problem, anytime, I never found him any tense, always just smiling, dealing things, anything. Whenever, in the first meeting when we went him, I said, perhaps I may come you time and again. But he did not give this opportunity. He came himself in now. So never visited sir you second time. You did not give that opportunity. Thank you so much for making things so successfully. The administrative team, so efficiently they have handled. Things are moving. Everywhere you go, I'm impressed when I met Raja Sahab for some minor details. He said, sir, don't worry, micromanagement is being taken care of. Harnanji, and Harnanji has been doing very well. So defined management process that everyone is doing one's job and things were moving. You know, this is the vibrant and academic leadership of our president. You have seen the best mind of the country, internationally renowned people, they have been brought in this platform from every cross disciplines from the different parts of the country. They are reputed on their own right. They have their own credentials. And they have made us obliged being there and making this Congress qualitatively much, much higher than we expected. So thank you all those intellectual contributions of plenary speakers, public lectures, chairpersons of the different committees, conveners, participants from the different research committees, and all those who participated in this vibrant discussion and made contribution to grow wiser, and we have grown wiser when we came, and today there is remarkable difference between these 5 days that we have achieved. When we talk to our organizing secretary, Hadnaranaji, with any problem, don't worry, Professor, things will be handled. Don't worry. Every time with a smiling face, things will be done. What I am telling you, I don't see that what happened or what not happened. What I have seen that everyone was trying their level best to make this best. That's the spirit. And we got this success. And let me tell you, on holiday, we were in his office.
Ayatollah ji, his pin, he had a pain in his teeth. He was just putting hand like this. And I said, please, go and take rest. No, sir. You people are here. We will not go. So it's not that the higher authorities were doing things. Even at the lowest point, the pillars, those people were working. Take example of Jamal. Wherever you find any gap, Jamal is there. Similarly, Arundaj, whenever we are in any difficulty, any time, day and night, maybe at the 11 or 12 or sometime, he's there. Only 3 words he speaks. It is done, sir. Nothing else. It is done, sir. Don't worry, sir. Not more than 3 words, and it is done. See, when we are looking into these teamwork, nothing could succeed if you don't have good food. And Dr. K. Jogeshwari, wonderful. For every minute, when every event, there is a knock. Said, the refreshment is ready, food is ready, lunch is ready, dinner is ready, every moment. I think the institute is not growing just because of the academics. It is also growing because of this excellent team that you have. Kavita, now I have known many names. Fatima, Professor Ratna, the anchoring team. All they have done tremendous work and they have made this Congress a success. See, Vijay Raghavan, wonderful job he has done. Whenever we are trying to make something, somebody is there to look into. Beautifully arranged and very systematically managed. We found all the people, they have done wonderful. Suppose if Dr. Khurshid and Dr. Raja Muhammad Sahab were always with a smiling face. Whenever we had some kind of confusion, he said, don't worry, sir, we'll do it. So always with a smiling face, things have been done. This kind of cooperation makes the institution greater. They are the pillars through which you grow, and you grow academically. When we do excellent academics, we always forget that we are facilitated by those persons, therefore we do these works. Those people behind the scene, those who are not seen here, but their contribution have made this success. Say, for example, for seminar hall, Abdul Qadir Sahab, his team, he comes just before half an hour, everything is done. When I come to the place where it is done or not, Qadir Sahab is there. Everything is done. So the way things have been managed, it's really a wonderful experience that we have in this process. Dr. Siraj, you know, at night if you have to receive someone, Dr. Siraj is there. We had some problems at some places. Suresh Babu is there. And he said, don't worry, sir, things are done. Don't worry. And when I asked for technical details, he brought those technical details and said, unless I satisfied. He did it. That's the excellence. You know, I'm really impressed. The way this Crescent Institute has done these macro management as well as the proceedings and otherwise, really remarkable. Thanks are not enough. The kind of contribution that you have made for Indian Social Science Academy, thanks are not enough. We feel obliged. Of course, we have done for society. You have joined hands with society. And wherever we go, we expand our family. And so now we have the greater family of the Crescent University with us. Now I appeal to Vice Chancellor to become the institutional member of ISA so that this relationship will continue much stronger. You know, always we have seen that when we are dealing with activities, sometimes we are deviating, sometimes we are not in discipline. We have a guard, Dr. N.P. Chaudhary. He is the man behind the scene and above the scene. Wherever is a little deviation, he does not tolerate. No, no, no. And he comes and he makes things in order. The kind of passion and dedication and commitment that he has done. He did not agree if you are deviating, even if you are making some, he is not. So the commitment and the sincerity that he has been doing, all that what we see here, the academic input, the kind of labor that he put, and other things, it is precisely because of Dr. N.P. Chaudhary. And the team that Allahabad headquarters works with, Sri Abhishek, Soel, Siddiqui, Santosh, they have been working tirelessly day and night, only with 4 people, and Chaudhary, they have been working. I am the General Secretary, I was the General Secretary. Occasionally we visit. Our President, we have a phone direction and with emails we are working. But the brunt is being taken care of by the ISA headquarters. So whatever we have arrived here is a collective effort and wisdom of our ISA fraternity. People have faith in ISA. People come with their love and affection to ISA. Our chief guest is the member of our, this NPL is our institutional member, sir. Yes, and you are the life fellow of our. So we have that kind of academic. We are also thankful to a sponsoring agency, whatever support they have given. We acknowledge with thanks their supports to move onwards. We are also thankful to those participants, volunteers, those who have been here and made this Congress a successful event. Each and every one, you are equally important. You have done your best. All these things, a kingpin like university and our organizing secretary and others, you have made this success. I would have come, what could have I done? If you were not here, I could not have done anything. So you people have done things. Yes, if there is any lapse, if I could not have attended you well, if sometimes I could have been a little harsh, little rigid, please excuse me, because that becomes the requirement of the function to go. Therefore, sometimes for conflict resolution, doing something, sticking to some points, making things go, I had to take sometimes some stance. So if there is anybody, if you feel offended, I beg your pardon from the bottom of my heart. Now, the last one. All those who have been not mentioned and left in this, not that they are not less important. They are very, very important persons. And they have done equally good for this Congress. We thank you all from the bottom of my heart. And now, one announcement that the 46th Indian Social Science Congress is going to be held at Bharati Darshan University. You all are invited for the 46th Social Science Congress. Please be a little bit watchful. See our website. See Bharati Darshan University website as well. You will get things in time. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. An honor to be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for validating the efforts of the individuals and teams through your words of gratitude. Thank you. National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा। तव शुभ नामे जाहे, तव शुभ आशीष माहे, गाहे तव जय गाथा। जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता। जय हे जय हे जय हे, जय 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 हे।